And welcome along, everybody, to Season 2 of the Universal Open, presented by Brisk and 7-Eleven. Now, we're into the final week of our online qualification process, and this week is going to be a war. There's no two ways about it. It's the war of Europe. All these European teams battling out for 4 places to go to those grand finals in Connecticut. Of course, the Universal Open, all about 2v2 Rocket League, North American teams versus European teams, all going for a slice of that $100,000 prize pool. Now, my name is Onset. I'll be your desk host for today, but joining me, as always, is the dynamic duo. We have Achieves and we have Shogun. How are you feeling, gentlemen? Because this week is an exciting week, one of the most exciting.
Yeah, I'm doing great. It was a lot of fun watching the regionals this weekend, and of course, ready to get, like you said, there's no way about it. It's the war. Europe is stacked as a region, so it's going to be a battle all the way through.
Yeah, I mean, this is the week of Europe. You know, between this and the play, there is a lot of stuff going down for European Rocket League. I've been tremendously excited about it, but you just look at some of these rosters we've got, and this is killer team after killer team. Which whoever gets through, you've earned it.
Yeah, it's very, very true. Now, we want to hear from you guys, as always, as well. Use the hashtag UOS2 to get in touch with everyone here on the desk and get in touch and give us your predictions on who you think's going through, because we had a discussion beforehand. We're not quite sure yet. We're actually genuinely not sure who's going to be going through. And don't forget to follow at Universal Open on Twitter as well to keep up to date with all of the information regarding the finals, qualifiers, everything to do with the Universal Open. Now, let's have a quick look at the format just to remind everyone at home exactly how everything has been working. And you can see we're at the bottom right now. Europe, that is where we are. No regionals for Europe. The top 4 will progress straight through to our grand finals in Stamford, Connecticut. You can see we also have one more regional qualifier coming up for the West region of North America. That will be in San Francisco on August the 11th. The top 4, of course. The winner, will move through to join the teams who are already there from North America, as well as the top 4 from Europe. Of course, our grand final is in Stamford, Connecticut. 8 teams, August 24th to the 28th. Double elimination tournament. It's guaranteed to be a good time, so make sure that your schedule is clear and you're going to be tuning in if you're not there yourselves. Now, let's have a quick Brisk bracket update right now and show you exactly some of the teams that we've got involved today, because there are some big names involved this week. No weak links in this bracket, as you can see here. Team Secret taking on RSTV. We've got Renault Vitality taking on Class on Grass. PSG Esports taking on... I'm not going to try. I'm sorry. That one's with you guys. Mognosaurus taking on Inspiration. Fnatic taking on No Brainers. Dignicats taking on BillGates. Girls taking on Method. And Girls taking on Method again. So, you know, double Girls Method is what we're looking at there. I don't know if that's a mistake or not, but we'll get that checked out.
One of them's supposed to be Dignicats.
That's we'll get that one checked out. But, I mean, how are we saying that one? PSG versus...
That's Packetverlierung. It's German. It means packet loss. Fun fact. I took German in college, so I actually totally know that.
And that's why you were hired. That's it. Finally, we've worked out. Anyway, gentlemen, I mean, we'll have a quick look at our fixtures for today, and obviously these are the games we're going to be bringing you. We're starting off with Dignicats versus BillGates. That will be our first game. And then, of course, we have a lower bracket game and 2 more upper bracket games to come today. But, I mean, what else can we say about this bracket? I mean, there's so many names. There's so many huge organizations involved. Like I said previously, predictions?
I mean, last week Shogun said I wanted you guys to both go home and think about who you want to qualify. I spent a majority of my weekend doing that, and I narrowed it down to 6.
Okay, so 4 into 6. I mean, you know, we're almost there. We're almost there. But let's give you guys some things to keep an eye out for this week as well. As always, starting off with our Dual Force Achievement Unlock. Now, that will be given to any player who scores 7 goals and makes 11 saves during one series. And, hey, look at that. I managed to get it again. I'm running away with this. I'm not going to lie. As I say, keep an eye out for that. Any player that's making a significant contribution to their team's performance will be obviously getting that achievement unlock. Now, another thing we need to make you guys aware of, thanks to our fantastic partners over at Soylent, we're part of the fight against world hunger. For every single goal that is scored during Season 2 of the Universal Open, they will be donating 10 meals to the World Food Program USA. Of course, you can always get involved by heading over to wfpusa.org/Universal Open, and we hope you do. And anyone who has got involved so far, we thank you as well as, again, as our fantastic partners over at Soylent. Now, let's get into it. Let's don the battle armor, because it's, I mean, game number 1, Dignicats versus BillGates. I mean, every single game. Firstly, run us through the rosters, Achieves, and just tell us a little bit about these teams, because every single roster It's just got full
Nightmares.
superstars.
Yeah, so Dignicats is going to be Turbo Pulsar and Remco, and BillGates is going to be Bluey and Jesse. 4 players who, if you're from Europe, you're familiar with everybody. If you're not from Europe, you're familiar with probably 3 of them. The one you might not know is Jesse. He's from BillGates. He's been around the top level of play in Europe for really long time. Never really quite been on one of those top level teams, but you know, he's teamed with Bluey before and a couple of other top level players in Community 2v2, so he's been around the block a few times, to say the least.
Anything we should know about these 2 teams coming into this one? Obviously, you've been sitting there so excited about this week for the entirety of Season 2 of the Universal Open. So this is your chance. This is your stage, Shogun. Please take it. Take it away.
In Rocket League, there are a lot of great bromances out there. There are. I would give myself and Lawler pretty high up there. However,
wait, what?
When it comes to top,
oh no,
you've been talking too much
Heartbreak.
trash.
We'll talk
When
about
it comes to top tier bromances in Rocket League, Turbo Pulsar and Remco, there's no competition. They are the buddiest of buddies at this point in time. They are such phenomenally good friends, and they're going to be teaming together for this. Turbo Pulsar, obviously, the most successful RLCS player of all time. 3 straight RLCS titles to his name. He's just recently won Northern Arena. Very little going wrong right now when it comes to him. Remco, I haven't seen him this driven in a very long time. He sort of had that, what was known as the champion's curse after winning an RLCS. Basically laziness after winning in Season 3. But then he's had what pretty much everyone has had after that, where you don't see the results anymore. And suddenly that gets you to have that drive to start working. He's looking much better for it. This is a team that's looking really, really strong. But on the side of BillGates, there's a lot to talk about.
Yeah. Bluey, of course, I touched already on Jesse a little bit. Bluey's been kind of one of the young superstars of the RLCS, really, since he came in Season 4. And before that, he was kind of this mechanical little, like, wizard. There's really no other way about it. He really he has a bit of flair for the flash, you know, he likes to style on people a lot. And 2v2 is a great battleground for that as well. You know, we talk about it all the time. You got the extra space, but he's had a hit or miss go on PSG, but they've performed very well. They won DreamHack Leipzig. They did okay in Season 5, so this is a good chance for them to kind of get the gears turning and get set for Season 6, I think.
Now, looking through the rest of the bracket, obviously we've got a lot of teams to talk about today. We're not going to see all of the teams, of course, but I mean, give us some highlights. I know I'm asking you to basically talk about every single team here. Let's start off with teams that you think could potentially be in contention for qualification, which again is pretty much all of them, but also ones that you see could potentially fall by the wayside, because I think that might be one to kind of look out for as well.
All right. So, of course, obviously the top 4. Pretty good chance that all of them make it. So, breezing through those. Dignitas, Moxinoris, Dignicats, and Renault Vitality. Those 4... decent chances. I picked one Dark Horse team. I think Team Secret stands a pretty good chance. I think Flame is amazing.
Okay.
Flame's teaming with Tylacto. Of course, the other team that I really like is Scrubkilla's team. He's teaming with Greasy Meister, and I also think Scrub is equally that good.
Okay, and for you, Shogun, very quickly, one team that one team's guaranteed going through.
One team guaranteed to go through, Dignitas.
The one team guaranteed,
okay.
Dignitas, yeah.
All right, well, it's time for our game number 1 of our first series of the day. Of course, it is going to be Dignicats taking on BillGates, gentlemen. Quick prediction for this series. I'm going to love this, by the way. The whole time, I'm going to be asking for predictions from these 2 guys, because it's that difficult to get right. Let's try it.
I like Dignicats by a small margin.
Dignicats 3-2.
Dignicats 3-2. Well, let's get into the game right now. It is going to be the first game of the day. It's going to be Dignicats taking on BillGates.
And we're going to be able to see a lot of that incredible mechanical genius that Bluey is so well known for. Much more in 2s, so much more extra space, but Turbo Pulsar positions himself well. Just has to turn around and take the shot.
Exactly how you want to start off if you're Remco and Turbo. A nice clean challenge, and Bluey just loses out. Remco, he's in the breakout today. He's, he spends a lot of time going between a couple of different cars. I think this might be the first time I've ever seen him in the breakout, though.
Yeah, and a bit of a switch up as well from Turbo Pulsar. A lot of changes happening right now when it comes to cars in Rocket League.
Yeah, the long car is making its glorious, push to prominence, Shogun. It's going to happen. I'm calling it.
The side of Jesse and Bluey, pretty simple from them. Octanes the whole way, especially from Jesse. Jesse's well known for his ones gameplay. Infield pass, and he's got that goal to aim at, but that was a pretty poor shot. Turbo Pulsar could deal with that one easily. Gonna have to make those count, find the top corners. One thing I really want to look out when it comes to Jesse is I want to see a kill shot. It's a position move that he made very popular. It's that little flick into the air and then just driving ahead of the ball, getting a demo on a goalkeeper. That's going to be a pretty simple pass into Bluey, but this time they're going to find the back of the net.
Yeah, I think that Turbo and Rimco kind of tie themselves up in the net here. Turbo trying to challenge that one out in front, and Rimco, I think, maybe just got crossed up by Bluey and Jesse crossing each other in midair, and he couldn't figure out exactly who was going to hit it, and that slight hesitation left that small gap in the middle of the net.
It's now 1 goal apiece. I think in terms of goals scored, we're going to see so many over this week.
What a
Follow up
bomb.
from Remco,
Oh!
not on target, and now breakaway opportunity. Jesse's not going to miss this. As that will just be slotted straight in. And to be honest, I won't be surprised if we see a lot of this coming week. European Rocket League, especially in 2s, hyper aggressive.
Man, and it was almost, you know, 100% guaranteed from that. Rimco's going to be really upset that he didn't find the left-hand side. Turbo Pulse, you know, opened it wide up. It was a great bump in the net, but, you know, back wall beckons.
A last-ditch save required from Remco. Jesse and Blue are going to be very tight on the cheat-ups. That's going to drop straight down. Remco there on time. 4 goals. We're not even 90 seconds into this week's tournament play.
Brilliant read from Rimco here off this corner. Took the ball, came off to get a good gauge of where it was going to bounce down off that lip after it came off that top corner, and perfect read, and just nailed that one. There's nothing else to say other than that.
Even Stevens up to this point. Bluey's going to have time. He's going to go straight up hunting for Remco, but Turbo are just behind. Sometimes forget that the person that went for the kickoff is eventually going to return. Now back to the middle. Bluey going to follow up, but Turbo just looking around for a mistake, and he almost got it. Just lofted the shot a tiny bit too high, but Bluey's got to be very careful when he tries to transition away. 15 boost on him. Turbo Pulsar might just be smelling it. Now there's boost back on Bluey. Good challenge. Jesse taps it up. Another bump as well. Remco tried to go straight down. And Jesse will clear.
A great recovery from Jesse there, but Turbo Pulsar again, very willing to just go smash somebody out of the way in the net. He's going to be giving Remco a lot of chances. Remco kind of struggling a little bit in the shooting department for a while now, and hopefully here in this 2v2 where he's got a little bit more space to work with, see that shooting percentage go up.
Going long, Remco just wants to find the corner. Wants to secure this boost as well, but Bluey has stolen it. Which means going to the far side for Remco if he wants to go back to 100%. Lots of long balls as Bluey takes it under his control. Great challenge from Remco. Powering the ball back over to the orange side of the field. 2 minutes remaining. Feels weird saying 90 seconds without a goal is a lull in scoring, but really has been to this point. Both of these teams settling down after a crazy start. Great contact from Remco. He's not got the boost to get to that, but Turbo Pulsar, he's found the angle, and Remco will follow up just to confirm.
Great recognition there from Remco. He didn't have any boost in the tank after that attempt, and Jesse's going to be kicking himself for not getting a cleaner clear, but great read from Turbo. Positioned very aggressively because, you know, he realizes that that clear from Jesse, even if it gets over his head, it's going to end up in the middle of the field and he'll have time to recover. Great recognition from Turbo at the top of the box.
It's now a goal lead under 2 minutes left. Dignicats looking solid. BillGates, though, we already know that they've got plenty of ways to open up an opponent. That bounce will not help Jesse as he was trying to follow it. Now Remco thinking better, just trying to move forward for that. It was the last line of defense, and Jesse's just trying to be a bit of a nuisance. This can be hard to play against as well if you're on the opposing side. The fact that Bluey can go for aerial plays that are typically a lot slower. And Jesse, we already know how much he likes to try and bump players, so it could actually work together in some sort of weird synergy. Bluey doesn't quite win the challenge. Jesse tries to get it back over to him. It's too high up. And Remco, yet another challenge win.
With no boost as well. Remco's been battling pretty effectively with limited boost in the tank.
Looking for the infield. Oh, miscommunication. Jesse fought infield. Bluey fought demo. Neither of them getting what they want.
Last couple of chances going to be coming here for Bluey and Jesse. Been trying to get a couple bumps and they haven't connected yet.
Back out.
As Jesse again goes for another one.
Just need to time this a bit better. They just didn't quite have the right ideas. The shot too weak. The bump only on one. There was always another person around.
Here's the sad thing. Bluey lofts a lazy one, and Jesse actually got pretty good piece of Turbo Pulsar. Problem is he didn't explode. He just came off the back wall and said, thank you very much, the net's wide open. Bluey was off grabbing boost in the midfield.
Still time for this, though. BillGates have to pop off a little bit. They need to get away from the current position. We tapped up. Jesse. Gonna have to go the entire way by himself. Bluey's on 0 boost. And they're not going to be able to make too much of this. Now 20 seconds left. One big challenge will probably seal the deal for Remco and Turbo Pulsar.
Too much corner play is going to waste too much time.
Time does tick away. 4 goals to 2 is the scoreline. Another challenge attempted. But that will be enough. 2-all for the longest time in this game. But Dignicats just outlasting BillGates. Will we get one off the road? Unfortunately not. And Dignicats with game number 1 on set.
Yeah, they do take game number 1. 6 goals in that first game as well. And just a reminder to everyone, thanks to our partners over at Soylent, that means 60 meals will be going to the World Food Program USA. Of course, for you guys at home, you can head over to wfpusa.org/Universal Open to get involved with what is a fantastic cause. Now, gentlemen, a very tight game number 1, as you would expect, but Remco doing a lot of work in that one.
Yeah, Remco, really nice job challenging in the midfield. Turbo Pulsar as well, a couple of great reads out in the front of the box. The interesting thing about that, Turbo and Remco got a bunch of chances on net. They had 11 shots right there, but didn't really feel like they had to earn a lot of them. They were kind of just, after that first minute or so, spent a fair amount of time just blocking out BillGates in the middle of the pitch, and it feels weird to say BillGates, but that's their team name.
Yeah, BillGates, they were happy to commit 2 players to a lot of their plays, either through passing or demo attempts. So one big challenge that goes against them, it's completely wide open. Now, the strategy, if it works out, is going to mean that they can just romp over their opponents, but against a team as good at positioning as Dignicats, especially Remco. Remco, I've never really looked at him ever as like the biggest mechanical player in the world. He's the core. I used to say about a year ago that if I was to start a team, this is when Remco was in his prime, if I was to start a team, he would be the first player on it because then I could build from there.
Yeah, he seems to have an incredible ability to read the play. It's almost like, you know, you look at traditional sports and the players who can see something happening almost before it happens are the ones who are so valuable because it makes everything so much more easy for them. And Remco looked like he was doing that in that first game. Now let's talk about BillGates a little bit because it was almost an all or nothing kind of mentality it felt from them at times. Do you think they're going to tighten up a little bit in that second game, or do you think they're just going to try and execute a little bit better?
I think in terms of those 2 players, their teams is all about execution. They're not a big, you know, back off the gas and try and fix what's wrong. It's very much, let's go outplay these guys. You know, they both really want to show off how good they are, and they're both players capable of doing it. The problem is the execution just wasn't there, and Remco and Turbo really just sat on their back heels and said, look, if you're going to beat us, you're going to beat us, but good luck doing it.
Game number 2 then. Are we expecting in a similar pattern? Because Dignicats, you know, they seem pretty tight in that one. They're great balance between both offense and defense. Are we expecting the same result in this one, or do you think that BillGates are going to change this one up a little bit?
Nah, BillGates don't need to change up. They're not going to be able to out-rotate. They're not going to be able to out-challenge Dignicats, so they just got to execute better on their current strategy, and they might have a chance.
Well, here we go then. Game number 2 underway in the background. As you can see, Dignicats versus BillGates.
Remco trying to drop that one straight down. BillGates were already straight back. Prepared to try and deal with whatever was coming towards them, and this could be an infield. Very few times, though, unless Dignicats see a wide-open goal-scoring opportunity, I doubt they're going to double commit too often. Remember the last time we saw them double commit?
Ooh.
Oh, wow, Jesse's actually got a huge opportunity off the post. Still manages to sneak its way in. Great transition from BillGates.
And it all stems from that perfect touch by Bluey. Turbo Pulsar maybe a little bit too aggressive on that challenge. Probably could have given that ground because that lead wasn't going to have too much power on it. But either way, he wanted to cut it off in the midfield. And Remco just had too far to drive back, and Jesse able to just get it around the defense at the end.
So the part of the field that Bluey is starting to seem very comfortable with. Bluey's always been a player that his very first play that he wanted to emulate was Squishy Muffins. Then I feel like I'm getting shades of a lot from him over the past few days. During the play yesterday, very much locked in towards the midfield, looking to redirect. They made use of it just there as well. Now to the corner. Opportunity to press for Dignicats. As you can see how quick that rotation can be. Just those tiny taps, looking to try and take it away from the defenders of BillGates, and that could open up a big opportunity.
Oh, not
2v1, but that's right down the middle, and Remco can deal with it pretty easily. Still, pressure on. And it is, like we said earlier on, squeezing pressure.
Yep.
But at the same time, you only get a couple of waves of that before you're out of boost.
Yeah, it's very much Bluey and Jesse's approach to the game. They want to try and get command of the ball. They'll get a couple of touches high up. They'll try and pass it across, and it's 100% on Remco and Turbo to read all of these touches.
Turbo tries to clear. It's a good long ball, and Bluey can be the target. Once again, aiming for the bump. Now Bluey calls off his teammate. He wants to try and take the shot himself. Almost managed to get it past Turbo.
Ooh, didn't look.
He won't be doing too much more off it because he has been removed from the field.
Oh, here we go.
Shot straight down. Just wanting to try and move Bluey. Back out. Remco might have actually been beat, but Bluey just can't quite get there before Remco.
Jesse struggling a little bit on these corners, going to buy some free time for Dignicats. And that's a wise play, I think, from Jesse there. Didn't try and do too much, didn't punch it up the field, just said, look, Bluey, I need a little help. And they get to hang on the ball here for a second.
That was so scary as well, but now it's 2v1. Turbo Pulsar chases.
Wow.
Bluey hurdles. And Turbo Pulsar has to try and take it away before Jesse can put it in on the open net. Huge opportunity, but Bluey dealt with it so well. Basically becomes a game of rock, paper, scissors when it comes to demos these days. Who's going to jump, or are you going to stay flat on the ground?
And it's always the fun thing. It's always on the player dribbling that ball to read whether or not the defender jumps. And boy, did he make him jump. Problem is he just dropped that dribble and just couldn't make an adjustment.
It's almost an unfair game of rock, paper, scissors. You win, awesome. You haven't been scored on. You lose, okay, I scored on you. You basically gain nothing, though.
Oh, there's both beat here out of Dignicats. Good chance here for Jesse.
Yeah, this is an open net. Jesse
he's
just
taking his time.
Way too much time. He was on 0 boost, I think that's why. Follow up from Bluey, he's over the top. Huge chance gone for BillGates to make it a 2-0 game.
And Jesse also hesitated rotating all the way back. He's going to have to play another one off the back wall.
Bluey, he's got all the boost in the world and then some. Once again off on the hunt, and there's the attempt at the redirect from Remco. Huge amount of pressure coming out from Dignicats. Can BillGates hold on to their lead? They've still got 90 seconds or near enough abouts. There's Bluey with another booming clear. And this is something that's scary at high-level Rocket League. The fact that those booming clears are often such great shots at the same time. You have to respect them.
And Jesse is also, he's had a bit of a tough time coming off the back walls, not making the best clears every so now and again, but when he's needed to make a touch, he's definitely done a good job of getting it out to Bluey and getting their team chances on the offensive side. Right now, Turbo and Remco, though, haven't really given us too much in terms of strong goal-scoring opportunities this game number 2. There's been plenty of solid pressure from Jesse and Bluey and some big defensive touches out of the midfield like that one.
Yeah, I also feel like they've been a little bit obvious with their approach. A lot of the goals they scored last game were on BillGates trying to move forward a little bit too much, but now BillGates have got the lead. They don't have to do that anymore. There's the opportunity for Jesse. Can't squeeze it past. Turbo Pulsar recovers just in time.
That's where you get to see the shades of Turbo Pulsar when he first joined up with Violent Panda and K-Dop. Perhaps the best defensive team that I've ever seen in Rocket League, and there's a reason that those guys are one of the best at not allowing any goals, but they do allow one here. Bluey gets a perfect bounce off the side wall, and it's a free shot.
I'll take a look at this one more time. Big Turbo is trying to take it up with him. That will be 2-0. BillGates closing in on game number 2. Dignicats going to try and make something immediately off this kickoff. Low boost, and Remco's put that straight into the corner. Not the best of decisions from him, as Bluey can just waste as much time as he wants.
That's it.
Pretty much is. Very disjointed offense from Dignicats in this game. There's an opportunity for the third, but it will not be going in. One game apiece.
One game apiece indeed, and this is exactly what we're expecting to see this week as far as the Rocket League is concerned. And series already tied up at 1-1. Answering back now, BillGates, 2 Dignicats taking that first game. What were your thoughts on that second one?
Pretty much exactly what I wanted out of Bluey and Jesse. I think they stuck to their guns. They said, look, we're going to keep pressuring you on the midfield. You're going to have to get great clears. And if we double commit, we double commit. But the big thing is when they did go hard, they didn't drop them in a bad spot. And it was never a really easy turnaround for Remco and Turbo Pulsar. They had to work for a lot of their chances, and it's also reflected in the score column. Remco and Turbo Pulsar don't have a lot of points. They were really just having to challenge the ball on the ground right in front of the box, not able to get a bunch of great touches, beating them to the ball. The pressure from Bluey and Jesse was just winning a lot of different challenges in the midfield.
Yeah, and I think we sort of saw that game, just how underrated Jesse and Bluey's defense can be. Just because they like to be aggressive and offensive does not mean that they don't know how to do the other side of the game, and they showed that right there. Just very quick rotations to pick up that first goal, and from there they understood they didn't have to do too much more, just slowly sat out of the game, didn't overcommit, and eventually got the opportunity just to seal it with that second.
I think that's a really good point that you raised. Sometimes when someone is so exceptional at something in a game, they almost, the other qualities that they have that are still incredible themselves, but just because they're not that exceptional quality, do get forgotten about. So, you know, the guys on BillGates, they're showing that they've got a good all-round game to them as well. Now, let's talk about game number 3, because we've talked about swing games, and they have been swing games so far. It seems like this game number 3 really does give these teams momentum.
Well, here's kind of the big question, because, you know, Dignicats, you've got two players who, in terms of their 3v3 teams, neither of them really light up the scoreboard or do fancy things. They really enable their other players. So when you've got two players that are both enablers, it's on which one of them steps up and carries this team. And they've both done that when it's absolutely counted. It's tough to say if this is that time, but you'd rather have it now and get off to a good start than you would start off in losers bracket, that's for sure. That's
very, very true. Well, it looks like our game number 3 is pretty much ready to go. How are you favouring this one to go, Shogun?
So
we're predicting the future a lot today.
We are predicting the future a lot, so I'm also going to predict how the goals go down in this one. A lot of what we've seen so far is that midfield battle that we're seeing between these two. Rocket League is all about the decision you can make at the split second. Whoever can get that one opportunity to do a quick half rotation, just steal the ball away from a defender, that's how they're going to get a goal.
All right, then. Well, game number 3 is live. Let's get straight into this one. Over to Achieves and Shogun.
So as Onset did say, this is the swing game. That's 2 games in a row that we have started off in the first 10 seconds with someone attempting a floor pinch.
And why not, you know? How often do those actually go in?
I'm trying to remember my last one. I believe there might have been one during RLCS. I know for a fact that there was one during DreamHack.
It's funny how oftentimes it just arises out of, oh, I can go for that. Why not? Let's see what happens.
Jesse, that's a big challenge. Had to keep that one going to avoid putting Blue in a terrible situation. That's a great demo as well. Remco's going to be coming in from a poor angle. He hasn't really had too much option, but he's just got away with it after the ball hit up the crossbar. And where, oh where?
What the heck? Where did he go?
Has the rotation gone from BillGates?
Oh, they ran into each other. Oh, that's so unfortunate. Bluey was rotating out of the blue half, and he sideswiped Jesse on that side wall, and it just took them both out of the play, and Turbo had a nice lazy waltz into the orange net.
Scott feels so good as well after failing to score during the last game. Score such a simple one to start off the game. Over here in our third matchup.
But now again, you move into that territory of Jesse and Bluey have to make a play happen.
Yeah, they're going to get not necessarily antsy just yet, but that is some superb mind games being played by Remco. Almost managed to find a way past both. Turbo looking infield. There's another bump.
But again, Remco, whenever you'll see him positioned out at the top of the box, he's usually in a more defensively minded area than he is ready to go and push an aggressive play, and you can't really blame him.
You can always see Remco's cast turn slightly inwards, just trying to keep it so that it will be faster for himself to turn around. Remco just over the top. Bluey chooses not to challenge.
Great pressure chance. Jesse and Bluey scrambling for boost, and it finally does break him down. Jesse just didn't want to hang out in the net. He needed a little bit of help here from Bluey, and Remco just says, look, if he's going to hit it, it's not going to be a good one, and he's in the perfect spot to throw it right back out to him.
Turbo Pulsar just sat back, knowing that the opportunity would eventually come. That ability just to read a step or two ahead. Now 2-0 to Dignicats.
Danger territory already. You know, you got 3 minutes left, and you already feel like you might be out of it. Jesse and Bluey need to figure out a way to get out of their own half. Right now, they're missing a couple of big touches, and that's a great opportunity. This should be free.
Yeah, Turbo Pulsar, I don't think he's got a way back, but he somehow does. Shot put way too central. That's going to go right down the middle. BillGates, what a sucker punch to them.
You know, a shot put way too central versus you think you have the time that it doesn't matter. And, you know?
Do we need to ban Bill Gates from having 2 players in that part of the field?
They do sometimes run into each other, but I think they kind of were just so upset that, you know, pretty much free one didn't find its way into the back, and they feel like they might have let this one slip away.
Jesse looking for the follow. 3 goals has typically been the breaking point for a lot of our games, and that's Remco gets stomped on the way down. Bluey's going to pick up 1 for Bill Gates.
Let's see here. Turbo, oh, he just misses that challenge. There was no way he was going to make it either, and this is just an excellent adjustment from Bluey. Stopped looking at the ball about halfway there and just said, all right, Remco, you want to make this save, you're going to have to go around me.
And that's great pacing as well on the original ball, because Remco
followed it for a long time.
Yeah, he's got no way of getting over to it without having to try and go through Bluey as well. Unless he tries to go ultra stylish, maybe
it's like doing those
spin off the arc at the, you know, in the goal. Remco, he's got a demo, not a target.
Not
That's a sigh of relief for Bill Gates. That will keep them alive in this game.
Oh, Jesse needs this one-on-one.
He's gonna try and be cheeky, and he's gonna be as cheeky as he wants to be. Bluey will secure. But this is all Jesse.
Such a great 1v1. He saw Remco back out the challenge, got the soft top, and then he saw Remco get up high, trying to protect that top part of the net. And Jesse, as soon as he saw that, said, all right, I'm just going to let you hit it back down into me. That is a brilliant execution of that play.
It's like almost no good options. This is a double demo. There's no Dignicats players on the field for the time being. Bill Gates now 1 goal off. Or is it going to be none? Oh. Bluey with the follow. 3 goals up to 0 goals up. We have ourselves a tie game.
Man, he just launched that one down the pitch, too, as well. Maybe a little bit lucky with the post bounce right back into him, but it's surprising to see Turbo Pulse or Remco not immediately on that first really strong touch up the pitch. And either way, them not going for it opened the door.
It took barely any time at all to get us over here. Since 3 goals often be the difference maker, there's an opportunity to turn it into a lead. And now it's Bluey 1-on-1. Remco tries to go quick, and Bluey shall be able to cover it.
But he's got no boost.
Turbo off the ceiling. He's not going to be able to catch that angle.
He's also going to be upset with that placement. He already saw Bluey on the back wall. He knew he had to go down.
Jesse bumps Turbo and sets up Bluey, but that's not going to be on target. Bluey coming in from the same angle that he was shooting from. Jesse looking for Turbo. And Turbo just watches him go by.
Thing is, though, it buys time, and even though Turbo did get that touch, it delayed that aggressive push a little bit.
Again.
But that's not a good clear and a huge stop from Jesse.
So many of these defensive balls from Bill Gates are being played into these corners, and they just ricochet out. Dignicats have been taking advantage of that numerous times. This time, Bill Gates get away with it. Ooh, poor flick from Bluey. Opens up space for Remco. Down to the blue side of the field, Dignicats.
Oh, aggressive.
Keep this one followed up, and that is going to be huge. Remco trying to get down to Turbo. I don't think Turbo can pass it off to him, so instead Turbo's going to go by himself. Saw Remco was still in the midair.
Oh, he wants the read.
Winner of this game will have 2 straight games to try and take the series. This is huge for both of these teams. Collision from Turbo and Remco over in the corner, but that will not cost them too much. Turbo wastes a little bit of time trying to get Remco some boost.
Oh, if he got that pinch.
Jesse, 1 more bit of brilliance needed.
11 boost.
Bluey's got the shot. Not going to be enough. Now must hit the floor. Somehow managed to roll around, but we have hit 3-all overtime.
I think that's a good play from Jesse to let that one fall on the ground. I think he realized that trying to keep it up is asking a little bit too much. They got their 1 chance. Bluey took his time with it, and they didn't get it home, so they said, all right, let's reset things.
Awkward bounce as well. Remco can't do anything more than just a tertiary nudge.
Oh,
Bluey
Turbo.
and Jesse together.
No,
not
double.
on target. Turbo, he's got an open net to go for. It was all or nothing. The tagline of Bill Gates coming back to bite them. Dignicats scraped by a match that they were 3-0 up in at one point.
And there you see difference of mindset. Bluey wants the double tap off the back wall because he's thinking Jesse's going to rotate out, and Bluey's trying to do it all himself. Jesse's saying, look, I'll just hit him so you can just shoot it into the center of the net. And, you know, unfortunately, both of those things went wrong, and then they got scored on.
An incredible game, and I think we saw what's so good about how BillGates play and what's so bad about how BillGates play in the 2v2 situation there. Some incredible individual plays, incredible offensive plays, but at the back, a couple of breakaway goals there, and that's what's cost them.
I mean, it would feel almost hypocritical for us to, like, really rag on them for the start of play, because we have complained many a times about teams that just don't take their destiny into their own hands. These boys,
absolutely
this is entirely based around their own execution. They don't care about who they're up against. They don't care if they're up against Turboposter and Remco. This is all about them and whether or not they can pull off their plays, and I respect it.
Yep.
It's just very risky.
Very. But it is a lot of fun to watch. Again, they've dragged themselves back into this one off the back of a couple of great individual efforts. Dribbles right in front of the net, hard touches. This play from Jesse just absolutely toying with Remco. The recognition required to get themselves all the way back, and it was a good fight, but again, it's that risk-reward factor, you know? You say at least I like to say, fortune favors the offensive in Rocket League. It's just, you know, fortune favors you if you execute it.
Fortune favors the offensive most of the time.
Most of the time.
I will say. Unfortunately, for the guys on BillGates, they unfortunately did not. As you can see, the overtime goal coming in here, and it's, of course, I don't believe that was the overtime goal. It was the overtime goal. Sorry,
yeah,
Remco put that one away. But, I mean, now we're moving into Game 3. We've got 2 match points here from Dignicats. We saw what BillGates can bring to the table in this one. I'm fully expecting them to be exactly the same in this game number 4. Playing exactly the same. If they execute, they'll win the game. I think that's the secret at the moment.
Yeah, it pretty much is. They like to go for a lot of the 1v1s, the nice, decent passes. They're willing to send one person into a 1-on-2 and say, look, just beat one guy and get the pass off, and they'll try and score. That's their approach and how they like to do things. And if they can, why not just score it unassisted? Because they're that good.
That's very true. And from Dignicats, I'd expect more of the same, Shogun.
I think this is the greatest example ever of us just saying momentum doesn't really play into this series in terms of game to game. We know the strategies from both these teams. Dignicats, rotation based. They're waiting to see what's going to happen to them. On the other side, BillGates, they're just going to constantly attack. I don't think them going 2-1 down is going to stop them. It's all about just taking it game to game and see who can get it.
It's all about execution here for BillGates. We've seen what they can do, but the question is, can they send this to a Game 5, gentlemen? I mean, I'm going to ask you, can they send it? Of course they can send it. We've seen what they can do, but it's a tough one at the moment because Dignicats, they're willing to sit back and just, you know, allow them to come at them because they are getting those opportunities on the breakaways still.
And that's the big thing. There's a little bit too much aggression from Jesse and Bluey, and it's just that slight miscommunication. Like, those double commits are really biting them. That's 2 games, actually, they've lost by that 1-goal margin because of that.
Let's see if we have got that Game 5 coming. I predicted it before this series. 5 games, Dignicats would win. I'm
4's pretty close.
I'm feeling a little bit confident about it, but we don't really know what's happening right now. We just know that it is fantastic. Remco passes it long. Jesse is quite a heavy first touch, opening up some more space for Turboposter to move into.
Classic Bluey here.
Yep, he's on the wall. He's very happy with that position.
My gosh.
Almost got it the entire way. Jesse tried to predict which way the ball would be bouncing out to, didn't guess correctly. So there was going to be no rebound shot from him.
I think Bluey wanted that pinch across, but it's very much been the MO. Jesse clears the ball, Bluey takes it up a wall, tries to air dribble, and here's one punched off the back wall.
It's again, they keep bouncing that ball off the backboard. It's almost like a self-backboard setup from BillGates to Dignicats. I'd love to see a little bit more control from BillGates, or at least roll it up the wall and follow it yourself.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, Turbo has that. Okay, good touch.
Tried to bait out Bluey to come and challenge, but it wouldn't quite happen. Now Bluey lofts high.
Oh, yeah.
Great challenge from Turbo. He had close to 3 boost last time we saw him. Must have picked up to 15.
And now you're really going to get to see Remco and Turbo try and box Jesse and Bluey in. They won that ball in the midfield, and that's the thing. Jesse and Bluey, they'll use all of their boost just to try and make something happen. And if it doesn't, that's when they start getting tracked.
BillGates have done a fantastic job so far. Oh, that's going to be a follow-up.
Wow.
Bluey takes advantage of the mistake. 1 whiff, and it results in this.
Yep. Turbo tries to get the demo in the midfield, doesn't get it. Remco tries to get the clear off the back wall, doesn't get it. Turbo finally gets the demo, doesn't get the pinch across the back wall. It was 3 opportunities for them to try and get it clear, and just none of them worked out.
The point I was trying to make beforehand of Chiefs is that, considering how good Dignicats are at... Oh, wow, that is another double commit created. Jesse,
oh, what a bump.
nowhere around it. It was actually Bluey with the shot. He's missed it somehow. And that is a huge miss.
That is the biggest yin-yang you'll ever see, you know? It's like, aha, we've done it! And then it's just this meteoric drop into sadness.
That is the sort of situation that BillGates have to finish.
Absolutely.
That'd be a 2-goal lead for them. They've already converted 1 2-goal lead to a victory. And now they're back within the war. For Dignicats, how many transition goals have they scored at this point?
4.
Glad that you're actually counting. That was a rhetorical question. But you've always got an answer, haven't you, Achieves?
I like to think I do. I don't know if I actually do. I'll amend that, though, just in case I'm wrong. Around 4.
Allegedly 4. Bluey, by himself for the time being, goes straight to the wall. It's actually very good play. Maintains his speed and results in no bump from Turbo Pulsar. Turbo. You can always see this off-ball player constantly having a look around, seeing if there was a player that they can potentially hit. It's constant threats on this field.
Nice touch. How does he pass it back, though?
Oh, just didn't angle it out.
Wow. Great tough trip field. 1-2, and that is a well-deserved play. Excellent job here from Jesse at the top of the blue box. Recovers and just slams Remco out of the way. Bluey immediately recognizes the chance and says, you better get ready, it's coming right back. And a brilliant 1-2 to get it into the lower right-hand side.
So many times this tournament, we have seen maybe less accomplished teams, but many teams anyway, make the sort of mistakes that BillGates have been making, and they just slump afterwards. BillGates, they make mistakes, and they accept that it is just part of Rocket League life, and they go for it again.
It really is buying into how you both want to approach the game. They say, look, if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. Who cares? We keep doing it. Nice save from Jesse. Close call, though.
Bluey tried to demo Turbo to open up some space for Jesse.
Needs that one. It's free. Didn't get all of it.
Remco long, 2-1. Looking for a bit of a tight angle, and he was never going to find that angle. Especially with defenders in the net. Bluey putting the chase down. That was a big attempted challenge from Jesse. Buys some time for Bluey to get back. Just under a minute left. 1 goal separating these two teams. Remco, he's got plenty of time on this ball. Bluey will be eventually moving forwards. It's a huge dive in from Bluey, and now an opportunity opened up. Looking to lock down. BillGates, previously transitioning very well from this position. And now they're going to be able to do the exact same yet again. But Jesse, that was wasteful. Put it straight into Turbo Pulsar.
After he made such a good play, too, to get Remco to dive over him.
Bluey, though, those air dribbles, always guaranteed space.
Oh.
Follow-up opportunity, 2 goals each.
You know, Jesse tried. This really all stems from an unfortunate touch from Bluey out in the midfield. He hit the ball and then, sadly, tapped Remco right up into it, and it started going back the other way. If Bluey clean wins that challenge, he's got time to rotate, but, you know, sometimes fortune doesn't work with you. And they get a nice transition, and Jesse tried his best in a 2-on-1, but they find themselves equalized.
Now Dignicats, if they can get the next goal, they could be heading into the next round of our tournament. All of this work, and it's round 1.
It's a good round 1.
Jesse
goes
on the hunt, but Turbo. It almost seems lazy the way that he tries to avoid these demos. He just, okay,
he's like, yeah, sure. You know, you don't become a 3-time world champion without just casually brushing those off.
Remco, he took a look at it, didn't like the bounce. So there's another high ball from BillGates.
Oh, what a catch.
And Bluey, he went for it. Jesse should be able to get there in time, and he will just scrape the ball out of his net. But Bluey's getting very antsy now with the way he's jumping in. Follow-up from Jesse. Turbo with the tap up. Bluey Will he be following? He's going to come in late.
Oh, Jesse's not going to be there for that.
Jesse will be there for that.
I take it back.
Great rotation.
That midfield boost spawn timing, man.
Opportunity. Turbo Pulsar sees it. Can't get it past Jesse. Over the top of Turbo Pulsar with the block.
Oh, Jesse was about to go for that, then realized Bluey's not there. He might have taken himself too far forward, and he just got there.
Turbo straight down to Jesse. End-to-end gameplay. A goal for Dignicats puts them through to the next round. A goal for BillGates gives us game number 5.
Man, Jesse and Bluey again trying to just buy time. They both need a little bit of boost, and it's going to be another disjointed attack.
Bluey for the double tap. Turbo Pulsar already up to try and meet it.
Oh, Jesse missed the boost in the midfield.
Will be Bluey in charge of holding on to the rotation. Trying to put it long. Bluey sees Turbo, and Turbo once again not going to be able to get there in time. Onset achieves.
Yes.
Both of you. We have game 5.
Shogun! We have a game 5. You are quite right, and it is BillGates who managed to clutch up in our second overtime of the series already. These two teams really putting on a show for us in our first series of the day. Just to reiterate, the first series of the day, the first game in the bracket. If you think this is good, it's going to get better.
We have 11 more.
We have 11. we have 2 more days of this. This is what's so exciting about Europe. I mean, again, we saw both sides of BillGates in that one, but in overtime, they managed to execute this time.
It worked. It was a great play. They stuck to the guns. They said, look, here's what we're going to do. We're going to try and get it through one guy, and we're going to try and hit you. And Turbo, you know, he dodged a couple of them, but finally that last one, it broke its way through, and a couple of weak clears as well. That's a big turnaround goal. When they had those 3 chances to clear that ball in this game, they just gave up that goal. A huge miss as well. You know, it goes both ways for both teams, apparently.
Yeah, that was a big miss, but I actually want to bring attention to one particular thing that I see Bluey doing a lot.
Yes.
Now, it used to be a big staple of his freeze gameplay where he would always, and I mean always, try and air dribble out of defense. And it was a bit poor for a while because there's 3 people back. They were always challenging him. It wasn't working. I'm glad that he transitioned away from that. But for 2s,
works all the time.
that is, for a team that we would sort of expect to be able to hold the midfield as well as Dignicats, they can't do it right now because every single time Bluey gets the ball and goes for an aerial dribble, you have to commit one player forward just to get that ball to start coming down for the second player to come and take over. It is a phenomenal way of saying, you know this pressure you got on us? Not anymore. Just give Bluey a ball, 100 boost, and the pressure is gone.
That's why he used to have Avid Air Dribbler in his Twitter bio, man.
Hey, if it's not in there now, it should be coming back again because he's bringing it back right here in Season 2 of the Universal Open. I mean, we talked about unpredictability, gentlemen. We've already got a Game 5 in our first series of the day. How do you see this one going?
I've got to stick to my guns.
The worst question in the world, but you did say, to be
Stick
fair,
to my guns
Dignicats
as well.
in 5 games. Are you the same as Chiefs?
I gave Dignicats the slight edge coming in, and I think the experience pays off for them here.
Okay, well, ladies and gentlemen, use that hashtag UOS2 and remind us, or let us know even, who you think is going to be going through from our first series of the day. It is an exciting one. Of course, we're already into our first series, Game 5 for our first series, and with 4 teams going through from Europe, I mean, I can't wait for the next few days of action. It's going to be amazing. But, I can see why you were so excited now, Shogun. He's literally been sat there like, yeah, this is pretty good. This is pretty good. You wait till Europe. It's like, yeah, this is pretty good. Now we're here, and I see why. I'm buying into
I'm stoked,
it. I like
dude. I love Europe. It's been fun.
Well, here we go then. I believe that game number 5 should be getting underway very, very soon. You're both going for Dignicats. Let's see if they can pull out the result, or will it be BillGates who pull off the upset?
There's only 5 minutes separating both of these teams between this and round 2. But we do have a lower bracket. You're not out if you lose this one, but that is such a smooth little bit of gameplay. Turbo Pulsar right underneath the defender.
And again, it's this willingness to play aggressive with no boost. He sees Remco with a nice clean catch in the midfield. Turbo turns around at 0 boost in the midfield and says, you know what, let's go for this. Why not? And he makes a great shot with 11 boost. It's a clean catch and a great feed.
So immediately, 1-0 up for Dignicats. Bluey, he was on 0 boost after it got stole from him, so he'll be happy to see that one not going in, but now both back boosts gone. Jesse's 40 is all they're working with at this point. And Dignicats recognize exactly that fact, but I think the opportunity might have gone. No, another boost steal from Remco. But somehow, BillGates get themselves out of what was a ridiculously tricky situation.
What is interesting is, despite Remco and Turbo not having the greatest offensive, numbers in terms of their 3v3 team, they both step up big when it counts in live events, and here we see Remco and Turbo get it done one more time.
Yeah, Remco, lovely catch from him, and he just reads where Jesse's going. Remember, if you can read what your opponent's going to challenge from and just get yourself to be the second player to make contact, it's an easy challenge win. And Remco is the personifications of fundamentals done well, but Bluey not going to take this one lying down. BillGates have already made a 3-goal comeback, a 2-goal comeback, nothing.
Yeah, we've seen that that kickoff happen a few times. The hard cheat from both teams, and one gets a little bit too close, goes straight up, and they just look up and kiss it goodbye.
I would consider it a bit of a risk on the side of Dignicats to try to cheat up when you've got Jesse on the other team going for the kickoff.
Why is that?
I feel like he's got the stronger kickoff.
I don't play enough against Jesse, so... Surprise, surprise, I don't play too much on the EU servers.
Been here for ages, Achieves. That's a great challenge once again. Remco might have just put in a third. But these challenges from Remco are making the difference between these two teams. 11 boost on him. He's being bullied, and he can't do a thing about that. This game eerily mirroring game number 1.
And Remco's going to be so sad he didn't get that little catch. When he lands on that floor right off the side wall, if he gets that touch on the corner of his car, that ball skips to safety down into the corner. And just couldn't quite get there, and it's the same play from Jesse and Bluey. They say, look, we beat one person, we're going to hit you.
Turbo Pulsar goes for the ceiling. Remco's going to think better of this for the time being, just fakes out the challenge and then steals boost. 2 all in goals, 2 all in series. And last time we hit 2 all at this point, game slowed down in pace. Jesse will be on the far side. Baited in Remco to try and take the challenge, and he was more than happy to do that. I don't think Remco's lost a challenge so far this game.
Actually, yeah, I think you might be right.
Oh, bit of miscommunication there from Dignicats. Offers up space for Bluey.
Good play from Remco there. Just trying to hang on to the ball for his team.
Jesse, far side.
Oh, there we go. He lost one.
It'll be moving over to Turbo Pulsar. Not a great ball from Turbo. It's over to Jesse. The ball just too far forward. It wasn't the greatest of passes. And that could have been BillGates with their 3rd goal in a row. Oof. To take the lead. Remco just trying to set up Turbo! Remco is having the game of his life.
Remco's got a beautiful setup here, but this is just a brilliant read from Turbo Pulsar. He's waiting at the top of the box for so long. He could get so many different things from Remco after that ball came off the back wall. It wasn't against the wall at first, so he's waiting just in case it gets the bounce. Then he just sees that slight angle inward and reads the pinch beautifully.
It's now 1 goal to get back from Dignicats. BillGates have it all to do. Tap up. Remco.
Oh, greedy. I would love to see a pass.
I'm not too sure. I think that could have been red. That interception is something that has become more and more prevalent. It takes both players out. Ooh. Challenge from Remco. Turbo Pulsar's got opportunities, and he goes for the deft touch.
Oh, what?
Remco couldn't quite read his teammate, but
I
to be completely honest, nobody read that one. Just opportunities appearing out of nowhere for these teams. For BillGates, this is the first time they've looked truly locked down, and Turbo Pulsar will pick up the hat trick.
And finally, they're starting to hang out on this orange half again. The boost struggles. Jesse trying to get a challenge, doesn't realize he's beat for too long, and gives up that space in the corner to grab the boost, and it opens the door just wide enough for Turbo to get a great shot into the back corner.
They've already made 1 2-goal comeback. Have BillGates got another one in this game? Bluey went direct. Jesse not going to get challenged from Remco. He also didn't blink. Tries to read. Bluey straight across the middle. Looks for the infield, but there's nobody around. Double commit from Turbo and Remco, and that bounce will not help Jesse at all. It's more time wasted as well. Every single second is just pure pain for BillGates. Although this could be a huge opportunity. Remco
Whoa.
once again.
And it's in.
That's going to
My
be his
goodness.
brace.
And you just feel the air go out of the sails for Jesse and Bluey right there. They're thinking we've got a 2-on-1 transition out of the midfield. We'll get back within 1, 3 to 4, and then Remco just sits on one.
5 goals to 2. BillGates need a scoring fiesta. They want to make any sort of comeback, but Dignicats, it just looks like they've figured it out. Very comfortable so far in game number 5. Jesse tries to go over the top, but there is Bluey. It seems to be a little bit of a taste of their own medicine.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a lack of ideas at this point. It seems like BillGates have resigned themselves to their inevitable fate.
Who needs different ideas? They got to game 5 doing this.
I mean, they're going to be a scary team. That's a lower bracket team in round 1, as you can see. The dual force achievement unlocked on Bluey.
Oh, he got it. Oh, did they get one for the road?
Will be trying to pick up one more. There we are.
Okay. No mercy, Shogun.
No mercy. Remember, it's goals for charity. Keep it going.
But what a series overall, you know. And the reason it's so close is because, again, you've got Bluey and Jesse, these two hyper offensively minded people, versus Turbo and Remco, you know, maybe two of the coolest heads in all of Rocket League. And it's the most fire-ice matchup you could ask for.
That will be dropping down to the ground. Game 1 of day 1 of Europe Week.
This is pretty good.
Best of 5 goes to game number 5.
Welcome along, everybody, is all I'm going to say for this week. This is going to be one hell of a roller coaster of a week. And we've started off, as you say, Shogun, in exactly what we're expecting. Sometimes you build these things up and they don't happen the way you want them to happen. But a game 5 to start, everything we could have wanted there. And Dignicats, I mean, both players stepped up. But one thing I want to ask you guys is, seriously, is Remco's car, like, bigger than everyone else's? Because it seemed like it was in that game.
The Breakout is one of the slightly longer cars in the game, yes. So in terms of his opposition, literally yes. Yes, it is.
I was speaking more figuratively, but, you know, it's fine.
I know.
Remco is just a king of timing when it comes to this game. He sets himself up so well to get that second bit of contact that you're pretty much always guaranteed to be losing the challenge unless you've pretty much read what he's going to do before he does it.
Oh, this catch was so good from Turbo. That was so good.
And for BillGates, I mean, I can't understate it. They are in the lower bracket in round 1. They've got a lot of work to do, but there's also a lot of teams down there now just looking at this and just going, oh, okay.
Big side.
Oh,
yeah,
great.
That's our life now.
Bluey and Jesse down here, wonderful.
We need to come up with something different for the lower bracket. We've been calling it the shark pit, but I mean, sharks look like cuddly toys at this point when we're going to see this lower bracket.
Ooh,
so we're going to have a little think about
we'll
that
workshop
one.
it.
But one good thing that we can tell you guys is there were 28 goals scored during that series. So a great start to the day. What else could we possibly ask for? That, of course, thanks to our partners over at Soylent, translates into 280 meals going over to the World Food Program USA. And, of course, if you want to get involved, head over to wfpusa.org/Universal Open. Now let's have a brisk bracket update. Let's show you how things have changed and see what's going on in some of the other games as well. You can see Dignitas move on, taking down 2 Swedes 3-2. Team Secret fall against RSTV. Sorry to say it, Jeeves. They were one of your picks. I'm not saying that you've cursed them already, but Renault Vitality also falling 3-2 to Class on Glass. Mouse Sports falling 3-0 to PSG Esports. Complexity taking down Inspiration. Fnatic taking down No Brainers. Dignicats, the game we've just seen there, 3-2, and Girls 3-1 over Method, which leaves, I mean, what side of the bracket do you want to pick right now? That's the question. You've got Dignitas taking on RSTV. You've got Class on Grass taking on PSG Esports. Complexity taking on Fnatic. I mean, they're two very, very, very big organisations in the world of esports there. Dignicats taking on Girls. And then at the bottom, we have Team Secret in the lower bracket. We have Renault Vitality in the lower bracket. Jeez. We have BillGates in the lower bracket. We have... just pick any name there. They're in the lower bracket. That is a horrible place to be right now. You are going to have to work incredibly hard to get out of that.
I have a name for it. I'm happy to go with the blender.
The blender. The meat grinder, yeah.
I like it. The blender is what it will be called. But, I mean, as far as we're aware right now, no idea who's getting out of that. It's as simple as that. We want to hear from you guys, though. So let us know your predictions for the upper bracket, for the lower bracket. Use the hashtag UOS2. And, of course, remember to follow us at Universal Open. The day has only just begun, though. That was our match number 1. We've still got 3 matches to come after this very quick break. Don't go anywhere. If game 1 was anything to go by, game 2, you're not going to want to miss it.